banishing and intent setting and centering, and then we'll start building up our shared space. So let's do some banishing.
Before we actually do that, we had some audio issues, and no one was able to hear most of what you said.
Great. Are we on now?
I think so. I switched to the other mic.
Are we good?
Go for it.
Okay. I lost my place. Are the celebrants watching? Can any of them confirm if they can hear me or not?
Give me a second. I need to shut something off.
Or should I? So you can hear me now. Lovely, thank you. Okay, let's try this again. I don't know how much of what I was saying you heard, so we're just going to start all over. So again, thank you for being here. This is Quietus. This is our celebration of the darkest time of the year. But more than that, more than a celebration of darkness, it's a celebration of coming together inside of darkness, right? The nights are as long as they ever get throughout the year. It's cold out here in the Pacific Northwest. It's been just absurdly rainy, right? Which is typical. It's, you might be somewhere where it's just snowed in completely or things like that. This is a time when we all want to retreat a little bit, where the years-long quarantine actually doesn't feel quite as chafing, even though it's been going on for so long. But it's just that time when we come together and warm one another's hearts, knowing that the weather's certainly not going to do it for us, right? So this is a celebration of queer community, of light in the darkness, and a celebration of elderhood and our queer divine elder that we worship in this tradition. That darkness that I mentioned has been very pronounced this past week. Happy New Year, for what that's worth, right? It's been a hard week for the entire country. Most of our audience, if not all, is in America, so then even if you're not, you know what's going on. So we want to acknowledge that, but also we want to concentrate on the light. For this ritual, just for the next hour, we want to enter into that queer sacred space that we create together and just revel in that. We want to just appreciate that quietness and that community and that love that we have for one another. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start this ritual off in just a moment with some banishing, some intent setting, and some centering. We'll build up the rest of the space and take things from there. So whoever is doing our banishing, please go ahead.
All right, let's just take a moment to think on and give voice to any distractions or ill that would close your heart to our celebration tonight. Call them out, name them and cast them into the air, released so they may be transformed by our work here together. News, stress, brain fog, tension, illness, pandemics, drama of all sorts that affects us and closes our heart. May these energies be transformed and may we do our work in peace.
Now that we've named our distractions, let's name our intentions. take a breath and a moment to name your intent for tonight. What do you hope to come away with? What are you here to celebrate? If you feel called, take time to share your intent via the chat or speak it out loud into your space. Stillness.
Now that we've named our intentions, let us balance and center together. Close your eyes and clasp your hands together. Focus for a moment on our shared intent. Every one of us is here for a purpose, including those of us not on screen, including you. Breathe in that shared intent for healing and celebration. Breathe out and let it settle in your heart. Again, in and out. Together, we form a community that is built through the bonds of love and will. We give shape to this sacred space, a fortress in which to weave the magic of life. You may lower your hands.
Thank you, everyone. From here, we're just going to take a moment to acknowledge where it is that we stand. Together, spiritually, we are at the entrance to the Labyrinth, which itself sits atop a great mound, the world's mound, which is itself the layered and sunken memory of the earth. All of its mysteries and memory reside underneath of us. That world's mound is also where we can acknowledge where we stand physically. So I know that for myself, I stand where people have lived and worked and worshipped for over 10,000 years. Where I'm standing is on the unceded territories of Coast Salish peoples. Many of our other celebrants and folks watching are in that area as well. Just take a moment to acknowledge that and to share that intent that you mentioned earlier. Just share that with your space, with the land where you are right now. Because I know for myself, I have a strong intent towards acknowledging where it is that I stand, who has walked here before, who will walk here after. And also, I just hope that this work that we do is for the betterment of all, both here and elsewhere. So with that, this world mound that I mentioned is, in our tradition, also the truncated pyramid, which itself is bolstered on all four sides by the four elements. So now we will call the elements into this spiritual space. We will be beginning in the north with earth and ending in the west with water.
Take a moment to connect with the earth in a way that feels right to you. As I call forth the element of earth into this space, quietly tone the vowel sound ooh, and imagine the powers of earth entering our right. I bring in earth, the door to strength. I bring the energies of fertile fields and ancient stone, of growth and foundation. I bring the world mound and the obelisk's root as we welcome earth into this space. Netzah Shaliach.
Take a moment to connect with air in a way that feels right to you. As I call forth the element of air into this space, quietly intone the vowel sound eh, and imagine the powers of air entering our right. I bring in air, the door to knowledge. I bring in the energies of cooling breezes and wild gales, of intellect and imagination. I bring the directions and the compass roads as we welcome air into this space. Netzah Sheliach.
Take a moment to connect with fire in a way that feels right to you. As I call forth the element of fire into this space, quietly tone the vowel sound E, and imagine the powers of fire entering our right. I bring in fire, the door to power. I bring the energies of burning hearths and blood-warmed skin, of passion and vitality. I bring the flames of transformation and the obelisk as we welcome fire into this space. Netzah Sheliach.
Take a moment to connect with water in a way that feels right to you. As I call forth the element of water into this space, quietly tone the vowel sound O, and imagine the powers of water entering our right. I bring in water, the door to mystery. I bring the energies of quenching rains and ocean depths, of emotion and mystery and memory. I bring the labyrinth and the misted path as we welcome water into this space. Netzah Sheliach. Now we'll call on the spirits of our tradition and ask that they open the way. That's you.
Sorry, my browser crashed. We call on the spirits of place, ancient and modern, spirits of misted paths and cool rivers, of mountain and concrete. Reveal to us the currents of this land.
We call on Terra and Soul, twinned souls of matter and light, body and breath. Guide our magic to manifestation.
We call on the queer ancestors of blood and spirit, mighty dead who carry the torches of wisdom into our hearts and lives. Protect us as we walk down twilight roads.
We call on the dragon, spiraled serpent at obelisk's root, source of earth and flame and deepest gold. Forge for us the crucible through which we are transformed.
We call on the Minotaur, starry bull of the blackest earth, challenger and guardian. Show us the light that lives in inky shadows.
We call on the queer divine, sacred transgressors and holiest of apostates. We call to youth, explorer, lover, healer, warrior, liberator, mystic, and elder. Bless us with flame and light, with queer power and open hearts.
We call now on the beating, burning heart of our tradition, Phoenix, illuminator and alchemist, light source who casts no shadow. We call you down. Spread your wings and lift our hearts. Lift now the veil, open now the way.
In your minds, imagine taking hands with someone on either side of you, left palm up, right palm down, or clasp your own hands together. Take a breath. Let us prepare to enter the labyrinth together. You will never get lost in a labyrinth, for it is not a maze. There is one path in, and it is the same path out. Focus your attention on the journey we are about to take. Honor yourself and the others here tonight by choosing to be fully present. Open your heart to the possibilities that are present in this journey. See before you a large 7-circuit labyrinth of the sort represented at our altar. See the entrance before you, opening to a left turn that leads into deepening shadow. Step forward. Walk the long, winding path back and forth from circuit to circuit. Each step focuses your mind, body, and spirit. Note the smell of the path, the feel of the air on your skin. Let your soul awaken. Your steps quicken slightly and the turns grow sharper, and suddenly you step into a large clearing at the labyrinth center, the large bonfire at its heart, smoky and warm and bright. These are the flames that we have kindled together. The fire calls for release and promises transformation. Over the crackles and pops of the burning wood, you hear the sound of beating wings from overhead and feel a fire kindle in your heart. You look upwards and see the largest, most beautiful bird that you have ever seen. You look into its eyes and see within them a familiarity which strikes you to the core. Yet at the same time, those eyes contain the deepest mysteries of the universe. A voice speaks within your head saying, "I am thee, and thou art me." The bird's feathers shimmer and flame in myriad colors. You watch as it circles once more, and then dives directly into the fire and is utterly consumed. The fire grows and seems to reach for you. Hesitantly, you move toward the flames where the bird was. The flames are warm, but do not burn you. Instead, you are invigorated with a willpower and strength that is rejuvenating. You breathe in deeply and feel the divine move through you, aflame with the power of spirit. You feel others step into the flames and watch as they come alive with the knowledge of who they truly are. You are aware of yourself as an individual and as a part of something much larger. You feel the earth leave from beneath you. You soar upwards to the planets and the stars. A bird's cry pierces the world and opens your heart. Breathe in that sound. Become aware of yourself as the phoenix. You may release hands.
Thank you, Kat, and thank you to everyone else who helped to build space for us. Take a breath. Just let that settle. Let yourself settle into the elements and into the presence of all of these spirits: Terra, Soul, the Genius Loci, the Ancestors, the Dragon, the Minotaur, the Queer Divine, and the Phoenix. Just settle into this space with all of our spirits surrounding us, deep inside the labyrinth, with a fire at the center, low, but still burning, still giving off heat. Warm yourself in this spiritual center in the heart of our tradition. And focus on those flames. Again, low, but still there. And look inside of them. Far, just tiny, a tiny speck in the center of those flames starts growing slightly, as if it's a figure far away that's moving towards you. Keep looking into those flames using your mind's eye. And as this dot gets closer, it turns into a figure. Perhaps humanoid, perhaps not. Watch this figure move towards you and get bigger. Slowly, as it moves towards you, you can start to make out other details. What is the figure wearing? What's the general shape? What's the outline? As it moves towards you further, you can start to make out details of the face and the body, the clothing, if there is any. This is the elder coming out of the flames to join us in our own spaces. As they move towards you, what do they sound like? Are they speaking? Do they have a heavy footfall or a very light step? Are they wearing anything? Any rustling fabrics or bells on their ankles? What does it sound like with this divinity moving towards you? What do they smell like? As they get closer, you begin to pick up an aroma. What is that like? For me, it's the scent of snow, the scent of cinnamon and clove, warm baking, but also a rainforest in the middle of winter, when everything is wet and succulent and still evergreen. If they were to speak, what does their voice sound like? If they were to touch you in an embrace or just, touching you on your shoulder, if you were to touch them, what does the divine, what does the queer elder feel like? Take a breath and breathe that in. Further, if they were to kiss you, or if you were to kiss them, chastely on the hand or the cheek, or perhaps not so chastely, what do they taste like? Breathe in all of these sensations. Their look, their scent, what they sound like, what they taste like, what they feel like physically. Breathe that in and just breathe it out gently, letting that feeling settle into space and into body. Do it again. Breathe in that full picture. Breathe in the elder. And breathe out gently, letting their presence fill the room that you're in and also your body. Fill your entire sphere of sensation. One more time. Breathe in the elder. Breathe in your vision of them, your smell of them, the sound of them. And then breathe that back out. Let your space, let your body, let your hands become full of the divine, of the elder, and of wisdom. And just let that settle. And if your eyes were closed, you can feel free to open them again or keep them closed. I'm not your boss. So, next up, I want you, we're staying with this energy. We're just going to follow it further, right? In the fire, in that warmth, is something, there's a seed in there, a seed of fire, a seed of warmth and of light. We're not, none of this agricultural stuff. We're looking at just a spark, right? Somewhere in that fire, there is an ember meant only for you. And it is the spark, the ember, the progenitor of flame that you need for the coming year, or at least the coming season. right? So again, if you have a candle with you lit, this is perfect. You can look into that candlelight, so long as it's not uncomfortable for your eyes. Please do be careful. Or you can just close your eyes and see still those flickering flames dancing on your eyelids. But look back into the flames. And take a minute. Yeah, we're just going to take a moment for some contemplation. The elder is here with us in space, perhaps sitting across the fire from you or sitting next to you in front of the fire, embracing you. Take a moment with this divinity. Oh. Aha. And certainly you can just have a moment to talk, to chat, but also let the elder guide you through the fire, through the embers, to pick up that single spark that you need. What is it? What fire are we starting tonight? What tiny ember from our communal flames can you carry forward through the coming season to make a stronger fire? Don't force it. If communing with the elder isn't necessarily your style, if you're not feeling that, just think on the question. What goals do you have for this coming season? What inspiration do you need to carry them forth? What spark? What can we be working on starting now? The elder is here with us. And we ask for guidance. We ask this divine being who has walked this labyrinth so many times. We ask you to show us what the path forward looks like. As we move forth from the flames of transformation, we're taking a spark of it with us. We ask you, Elder, to unveil that spark, to share with us its wisdom, its meaning. Elder, we honor you. For your experience, your memory, and your timeless, unending beauty. Guide us through the darkest night. try to take this sense of your spark and narrow it, specify it a little bit. Take what may be just a vague feeling and start to give it some definition in words. What is this spark? This is something that you can take from community freely. We offer it. It is the spiritual gift of the divine. Once you've named it, take hands with the elder. Your dominant hand with either of theirs, and together reach into the fire to take out that tiny piece for yourself. Let them guide your hand. And when you're ready, close your hand over it. Know that while it is warm, it does not burn you. Instead, it sinks into your hand. You feel it warming your entire body. Flooding you, flushing you. Settling in your heart to inspire you. Settling in your stomach to give you the drive and will to move forward. Settling in your throat, your mouth, your lips, so that you may have the courage to speak your truth, to speak your needs out into the world. The fire illuminates your eyes so that you can see clearly, even in the darkness, what the path looks like forward. And finally, you feel it again in your hands, so that they may be free and strong to do the work that's ahead of you. Breathe all of that in. And as you breathe out, just let it settle. Take a moment for yourself to thank the elder for their time, for their blessing, for their gift. And if your eyes are closed, open them when you're ready. And just take another breath in and out. It's from this space of received wisdom and preparation for the world ahead of us that we move into a little bit of healing. We're going to gather some energy from both above and below, and then we're going to take that energy and expend a little bit towards healing ourselves or energizing ourselves, towards pushing that same energy out into our community, and then towards strengthening the healthy bond between ourselves and the land that we walk on. Good? So, again, just shake it out, move around a little bit if you haven't. I have the the delicious benefit of getting to, stand in front of you with this beautiful altar. I know how much of a bear it can be to just sit for so long. So move around a bit if you need it. And that's really it. So take a breath. Again, just center yourself in space. And look up. That can be with your mind's eye. You can physically look up if you'd like. But bring all of your attention to the sky above you. Through the ceiling, the roof, through the atmosphere, and into the starry sky above. See above you all of the stars, the arm of the Milky Way that we are in, and even beyond that, the greater spiral of existence that we are all a part of, that generated us and gave life to the inspiration for all of creation. Look up at the stars. These are the divine, and all of those upper world spirits that we call on in our tradition. That starlight is their blessing and their power coming down onto us. And so breathe it in. Look above. Feel that starlight shining on your skin, the gifts of the divine, and breathe it in as it comes down into your heart center, and just let it swirl there. And you're going to take 2 more good breaths. So a deep breath in for that starlight to come down into your heart and swirl there. One more time, deep breath. And just take one more normal breath, just letting that settle, knowing that it's there, feeling that movement, just that light, gentle swirl, and look down. This time, take your intention and your imagination through the floor, through the ground, and into the great cavernous below. We all stand on the rim of a great cauldron, and inside of that swirls the waters of life and death. On their surface plays that same starlight from above, reflected back at you. These reflections of the divine are the ancestors and all of the other spirits that have come before us. Breathe in their blessing. Breathe in that reflected starlight from the surface of the cauldron below. Once. And let it come into your heart and swirl there and meld with the light from above. 2 more times. Breathe up that reflected light. Let it just swirl there. Let it center. And again. And just feel that light pulsing in your heart as you bring your attention back to the world around you. Give a moment's thought to yourself. We don't do this necessarily as often as we should, yeah? Whether it's something physical or emotional or mental, what could you use a little bit more energy towards? What could we together, as a community with this light that we've pulled down, what could this energy be put towards in your body, your spirit, or mind? Name that for yourself, out loud. Yeah. For myself, very openly, that looks like taking some of this divine, ancestral, communal energy and putting it towards my heart, emotionally towards my heart, both as a salve against a very difficult week, but also just a salve towards isolation during this pandemic. Yeah. So take some of that light. It's already in your heart. If you need to, shuffle it around, do what you need to do. But what I like to do is breathe it into my hands and then redistribute from there. So take a moment to just recognize that energy again, being held in the center of your chest. And breathe in, and as you breathe in, it flows through your shoulders, down your arms, through your elbows, and into your hands. And you'll do this just a couple of times to let your hands feel a little bit warmer, a little energized. Use your exhalations to just continue that movement to push it forth. Some people like to form that energy into a small ball, something like that. I tend to just let it linger in my hands. But once you're feeling your hands a little tingly, a little warm, a little energized, it may take a couple more breaths. Go ahead, breathe in nice and deep, and then with a single breath out, lay hands on yourself. Your heart, your throat, your head, your stomach, maybe your back hurts and you want a little bit of love back there. But go ahead and lay hands on yourself. It'll take just a moment. This is energy that we've all done the work to pull from above and below. This is energy that we share, coming from the same source. And from all of us, as a gift, we give it to one another. So take another just normal breath. Ooh. And let yourself just feel that. Feel that little bit of extra for yourself. And now take your hands, if you're able, to your sides. Your left palm up and your right palm down. Typically, this is when we would join hands. Sadly, we're not able to physically do that right now, but that energy is still there, and that intent for community is still there. If I really try, if I think about it, I can just feel hands on either side of myself. Feel that community connection coming into the left, flowing through you and out of the right as it flows through all of us. Take a couple of breaths. And again, that tingle, right? That little bit of warmth in the hands, the arms, a little bit of a chill up the back. Do it one more time. Breathing in through the left, and then out through the right. And distance be damned, that energy flows through each of us. So take some of that fire, some of that starlight from your heart, and just add it. We're going to take 3 more breaths. Just add it to that entire circle, that cycle as it moves from one to the other. we're just adding some extra light. We're adding strength and joy and love for one another here in this space, in this ritual, but also for the rest of our community that couldn't be here with us. And as we continue, just keep breathing, not too deep. Just keep a bit of a pattern going. As we keep breathing out and breathing in and feeling this cycle move through us, the energy can grow and it starts to move behind us as if we were one large circle, and it starts to spiral out. Like a galaxy. Like a firework into the rest of the community. Those that are open to accepting it but cannot be with us here tonight. Let this community be strengthened and better connected. Good. Shake out your hands. Even brush them off if you need to. One more. Still got some of that light left, and if you don't, just take one good breath from above and one from below. Breathing down starlight and breathing up that reflected light from the ancestors, the lamps of the dead. We're going to use this last bit of extra energy to heal, or at least empower, the connection between ourselves and the earth below us. We're not grounding. The earth does not need our healing energy. It's got spades of it. What we're going to do is focus below us. So send your mind, your imagination, your intent to just between your feet and then down until you get that sense of connecting to the earth below you. There's a sensation as if that tiny little thread of energy that's being pulled down is being accepted and enveloped. So focus down. Until you feel that connection. And I really do. I like to envision it like a thread coming down from between my feet and meeting the earth below me. And all I'm going to do with 3 nice breaths is to take this combined starlight and ancestral fire in my heart, and I'm just going to thicken that thread. I'm going to strengthen that connection between myself and the earth. So just do that. Breathe in to encapsulate that energy, and then breathe it down. Not grounding it or sinking it into the earth, but empowering that connection between you and the great below. 2 more times. Breathe in and collect, and then down. And let that connection grow. 1 more time. Breathe in and down. And just stay there for a moment with that connection newly strengthened. Think about yourself and your relationship to the planet, both spiritually, mentally, physically. How can you take this spiritual strengthening and move it into the rest of your lives, to all of the other relationships that you have with the earth? Take a breath. Let that all settle. And from healing, we are going to thank the divine. So, what do I need? Sorry, getting my mind back in the game now. There we go. Some delicious organic apple cider for the elder. And I'd like to thank the elder for the peace of this night. Wait, what?
Final messages.
Oh, sure. Good call. Before I continue, thank you, Frank. Do any other celebrants have any message that they have picked up from the elder that they would like to share with the community? Going once, twice, 3 times a lady. Okay, we're good. We just want to give that space if there's anything lingering out there. This isn't all about my voice, right? Good. So, elder, queer parent of our many intersecting families, thank you for your presence here this evening. Thank you for embracing us in stillness and showing us the light that we can carry forward out of darkness. Thank you for a peaceful evening, for community, and for the understanding of the experience of the past year. We honor you always in the circle of our lives. Tuskaite. And from there, we're going to invite Theo to guide us a little bit as a seer and to give us any information that the spirits want us to know through the coming cycle.
Thank you so much, George. The spirits have healed with us, worked magic with us, danced with us, and heard us. Let's take a moment now to listen to them, to seek out their voices and hear their messages for us. Spirits who are gathered, speak to us. The spirits have given us the sword, salt, and the healer. There's so much wisdom in this season and in understanding the choices that we make. The sword tells us that as we gather again in coming rituals and coming months, hopefully as we begin to gather in person, we need to temper and focus on the things that matter to us most. Focus on our open hearts, on bringing our community together. That leads us to salt, to understanding that our strength is in our unity, in our stability, in our willingness to listen to those who came before and the wisdom of our elders. And finally, into healing. And this is not the healing of reconciliation or of bringing together disparate forces, but the healing of focusing on who and what we are and creating space for ourselves and those around us. For healing the queer spirit, the queer community, and the queer energies and divinities that move around us all. Focusing on those things and finding a new youth and a new journey as we go into the future. And we will now thank our divinities and our spirits for their presence with us in this rite.
We honor the beings who have guided our rite tonight. George is holding our offering cup at the main altar. We ask you to focus on that altar and the cup, breathing out your blessings and well wishes for these kindreds of our hearts. Breathe your thanks and your love into the cup as I speak. We give thanks to the spirits, beings, and divinities that walked with us this night. Thank you for your protection and presence, for your blessings and bounty. Thank you for guiding our magic and our healing, and for opening the way. We pledge to honor your gifts and to use them wisely. We give you thanks and honor this evening.
To the Phoenix, we give offering. To the Queer Divine in many names, Youth, Explorer, Lover, Healer, Warrior, Liberator, Mystic, and Elder, we give offering. To the Minotaur, we give offering. To the Dragon, we give offering. To the queer ancestors, we give offering. To Terra and Soul, we give offering. To Genius Loci, we give offering. To all you spirits who walk with us, may you never thirst. Tus Kayate. Netzah Shaliach.
To water, we give thanks for emotion, for passion, for mystery, for the cooling rains and snows, and the gentle rains that feed, that nourish. We honor you always in the circle of our lives. Tus Kayate.
To fire, we give thanks for the hearth that warms us on this darkest night, for the fires of change that are burning through our world. We thank you for being with us. We honor you always in the circle of our lives. Tus Kayate.
We thank you, air, for the stillness and the contemplation you've given us tonight, for the quiet winds that blow through the trees and the roads that we walk. We honor you always in the circle of our lives. Tus Kayate.
To the earth, we thank you. To the nourishment and blossom that comes as spring grows, and the gales and earthy winter that lets us remain tidy inside, cozy, and with hearth and family. To the strength of our bones, and to the blessings and wisdom that comes from you. We honor you always in the circle of our lives. Tus Kayate. And as we have honored the elements, we also honor that which has been changed and invite it back into ourselves. May this transformed energy be a tool with which we work our wills.
Focus again on the group as a whole, that full, shining circle of connected lights. Feel how our community has been empowered by our work tonight. Feel how you have been changed personally. Send some of this transformed energy into our circle with a breath. And now send it out to the community that could not be here with us again this evening. And again, in and out. This is the power of the phoenix to transform and regenerate. Let us take the gift of this connection with us in our daily lives. Manifest your will through love. And now we go forth into the world, renewed by the bonds of this fellowship. Out of the flames and into the light.
To the light.
I only unmuted us once.
Right?
Sorry.
Oh my god. Okay. So thank you, everyone, both seekers and celebrants, for being here tonight. I'm deeply grateful to our celebrant team, which hails from both the Seattle and Chicago temples. Thank you for making the time and for being here and helping put this on for community. Thank you to everyone who is out there watching. We appreciate your additions of energy and community. We can feel that coming back, and we love you. Thank you for being here. Got a couple of short updates. One is about a survey that we had talked about a little bit on social media, and I think it was there was some mention of a survey at the beginning of the thing. It's not ready yet. That's on me. It was supposed to be. It'll be ready tomorrow, and we'll figure out how to tell you then. Very good. Otherwise, we are going to have some space to welcome everyone in to chat with us if you want to have some social time once the stream is cut off. I'm going to let Frank tell you about how that's working.
The link is inside the description, but you might need to refresh your browser to see it.
Everyone got that? So there's a link to a Google Meet. It is technically in the description for the ritual, but it was put in there mid-ritual, so you may have to refresh your browser. We're going to leave the stream going for just a little bit so that you have a chance to refresh and look at those things if you wish. But we will meet you in a chat room if you wish. And that could be video, you could do just voice, you could even turn camera and audio off and just text with us or watch other people chat, whatever you want. So there's that Google Meet link, and we will see you in a moment. Quietus.